What if you could play Travis-style picking and add more artistry to your guitar playing? I'm David Harsh with Guitar Success for You. I'm excited to show you how fun and accessible this fingerstyle pattern can be and how it can enhance the textures of your songs. Today we're going to unpack Travis-style picking, and it's going to get more and more interesting as we go. By the end of today's lesson, you're going to be able to play just like this, using 3 fingers. So grab your guitar and let's get started. Travis picking is named after the legendary guitarist Merle Travis. His playing has influenced a lot of folk guitar players out there, including myself. There is some subjectivity about Travis picking and how it's interpreted. Some folks say it needs to be done with only the thumb and the index. Others say 3 fingers. Others say 4. I'm going to spend today's video using the 3-finger approach. If you're pretty new to fingerstyle, you may want to check out our 7-minute fingerstyle crash course video. This will give you an excellent foundation for fingerstyle. If you're more of an intermediate guitarist, let it play and go with me as far as you can today. I may outrun you toward the end of this lesson. We'll see. Today we'll use the thumb, index, and middle. The Spanish system calls these P, I, and M for pulgar, indicio, and medio. My diagrams will include these letters in case you appreciate that lexicon. Strings are numbered 1 to 6, from treble to bass. For most of the chords I play with Travis picking, I allocate the following fingers to the following strings. Thumb, or P, owns strings 6, 5, and 4. Index, or I, owns string 3. And middle, or M, owns string 2. So from string 6 to 2, we have P, 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 I, and M. We will touch on the first string briefly a little later on today. The best way to verify that we're picking the strings we want to play is to use a chord. So let's start with a simple open chord that many of us know, an E minor chord. Although I'll provide a full diagram of this chord, we're really only going to focus on strings 6, 4, 3, and 2. Our time signature today will be 4/4 time with 4 beats per measure. The way I like to teach Travis-style picking is a bit unique, but it's very effective and easy to take apart. I like to teach the pattern in what I call vertical slices of time. I basically break this pattern down into 4 separate beats. Here's how I do it. I'm going to start out by playing strings 6 and 2 with my thumb and middle at the same time. These strings are toward the outside of the neck. I realize that the second string isn't on the very outside like the first string is, but humor me. Let's agree today that we are playing strings 6 and 2 on the outside, but at the same time. This is the only simultaneous motion in this pattern where 2 fingers are playing 2 strings together. I'm using the color red to set this beat apart. So try squeezing these 2 strings with the thumb and the middle. Work on this motion. Maybe even say together as you play. Together, right? That's the first beat of the pattern, the first vertical slice, as it were. For beat 2, the thumb actually skips over the 5th string and it plays string 4, followed by the index playing string 3. So for this second beat, we're now playing the inside 2 strings, but separately as 8th notes. I'll use the color yellow to set this beat apart. I pluck with the thumb first, then the index, and I say inside as I do it, like this, inside. Try it with me. Inside, inside. If you say it as you play it, that will help reinforce what you're doing. Now let's do both of these motions in sequence, slowly. Ready? Together, inside. Try it again. Together, inside. Do that a few times. Together, inside. Together, inside. Together, inside. Now let's move on to beat 3, which has us going back to the starting strings and fingers, but separately. I'll use the color green to set this beat apart. So we'll be on the outside again, but with the thumb, then the middle. Try it like this. Outside. Again, outside. The good news is that we've got one more motion that makes up beat 4. The better news is that it's the same one we did a moment before this last one on beat 2 with inside. Just strings 4 and 3 again separately with the thumb and index. So as would make logical sense, I'll again be using yellow for beat 4 because it's the very same as beat 2. Try that. Inside. Again. Inside. Okay, let's do the last 2 beats of the pattern, starting on beat 3 and going into beat 4. This is going to be outside, inside. Ready? Try it. Outside, inside. One more time. Outside, inside. I'm sure that they're out there, but I have not seen any guitar teacher teach this method of Travis-style picking. Our members in Guitar Success for You have favored this vertical slices approach much more than the horizontal method of starting with just the thumb, adding the middle, then the index, then the middle, etc. It's much easier to get lost that way. The vertical slices method, in my opinion, is much cleaner, much clearer, and much easier to remember. So let's go back to the first 2 beats with together, inside. Try that again. Together, inside. One more time. Together, inside. Now let's switch to the last 2 beats. We have outside, inside. Again. Outside, inside. One more time. Outside, inside. Ready to slowly combine both parts for the full pattern? Sure, why not? Let's go very slowly at first. Maybe watch once, then jump in. We have together, inside, outside, inside. I'm going to go again. Here I go. Together, inside, outside, inside. Now, we're going to stick with the E minor chord, but now I'm going to incorporate my metronome. Here's the twist. I'll be using the setting at 88 beats per minute, but the pulse will actually be my 8th note. So it'll actually be like quarter note equals 44 beats per minute, which is a little too slow to lock in without the double click. This way we have a click for every note we want to play. We'll start slow, but don't you worry, we'll eventually speed up to probably faster than you can play today. I'll keep this interesting. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside, together. Okay, how was that? Hard? Hit the rewind button. Easy? Let it play. Remember, for now, this is really a picking hand exercise, not so much a fretting hand exercise. Let's try 104. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside. Together. Okay, one more tempo with this chord. Hint, hint. Let's ramp it up to 120. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside. Together. Inside, outside, inside. Together. Inside, outside, inside. Together. inside, outside, inside, together. How was that? Okay, let's switch things up for a moment and move to a chord that will have one string difference. Instead of E minor, we have A minor, which gets its lowest note from the open 5th string instead of the 6th string. Everything else will be the same, so my diagrams will reflect that we'll be using only strings 5, 4, 3, and 2, all next to each other. The thumb and middle will still squeeze together at the beginning, but they'll start on strings 5 and 2. So play an A minor chord and be ready for your thumb not to have to travel as far. It won't have to leap over the 5th string. For beat 1, it will actually start on the 5th string. Try that squeeze motion for a moment on beat 1 with strings 5 and 2 together. Together. Then the same strings on the inside as before with strings 4 and 3 inside. Inside. Then back to strings 5 and 2 separately, outside, outside. Then back to strings 4 and 3, inside, inside. The motion, very slowly with A minor, is together, inside, outside, inside. Together, inside, outside, inside. Okay, let's take the metronome back down for a moment to 104. Let's try the pattern 4 times with the A minor chord. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside. Together. Inside, outside, inside. Together. Inside, outside, inside. Together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Good? Let's go back up to 120. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Now, your ear may already be telling you this, but this chord and this pattern are actually a part of the sequence of chords for Dust in the Wind by Kansas, right? Okay, so real music is getting closer on the horizon. To complete the picture and eventually touch on all 6 strings at one point, I'm going to offer one chord on the high 4 strings, strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to play a D major chord. Now, all that's really needed here is to have us move our picking hand fingers over one set of strings. We'll be playing the same pattern, and really, our hand should feel pretty capable with this pattern over D like it did over the A minor. We'll squeeze the outside strings with strings 4 and 1 together with our thumb and middle, then play strings 3 and 2 inside, then back to strings 4 and 1 outside, then back to strings 3 and 2 inside. All the way through like this. Together, inside, outside, inside. Now, it's not as common to reference the high 4 strings for a 4-string chord with this type of picking, but it's worth considering. I'll take the metronome back down to 104 and let's go for it with this D chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Okay, good job with that D chord. Now I'm going to go back to E minor and A minor. I'm going to keep the metronome at 104, but we're going to notch things up a bit. If you're feeling like you're starting to feel the edge, just watch. If you're feeling ambitious, try playing this with E minor, then A minor, and back. I'll do 2 cycles per chord. Here I go, starting with E minor, still at 104. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, now A minor, together. inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, switch to E minor, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, now A minor, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, and land on E minor. Okay, can you handle another level? How about only one cycle per chord? Same tempo, still starting on E minor. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, switch, 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 together. Faster? Let's go to 120. Still starting on E minor. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, switch, 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 together. Okay, let me encourage you. We have come so far already. We've tackled this pattern with a chord based on the 6th string, a chord based on the 5th string, and even a chord based on the 4th string. And now we're moving back and forth between a couple of the chords as we gradually increase the tempo. This is a big deal. Now, if you're struggling to tackle all of this the first time, the rewind and replay buttons are your buddies. You can totally go back over what we've been working on, and I hope you do. But the more you do this, the better your muscle memory will be. There's a great Latin phrase that has served me well as I've developed muscle memory. It goes like this: repetitio est mater studiorum. That translates to repetition is the mother of learning. So look for the benefits of repetition, repetition, and repetition. Don't resist it, embrace it. If you're ready for the next level, I'm excited to take you there. Before I do, if this video has been helpful to you, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want more epic content here on the channel, you'll probably want to know as soon as it becomes available. That's how you find out, right? Thanks for considering. This next level is actually going to involve a different chord, perhaps with a different fingering than you might be used to. It's a G major chord, and although I've seen a lot of people play it like this, I highly recommend playing it like this. I have a whole video dedicated to asking the question, do chord voicings matter? And if you want to explore that, you're going to want to click here. If you want to take my word for it for now, let's continue. Here's how I make this G possible. I hold my hand up flat, and then I curl my pinky in right next to my ring finger like this. Then I lay my hand against the 3rd fret of the neck so that I can fret the outside G notes on strings 6 and 1. I let my ring finger mute the 5th string, which actually opens up the voicing really nicely. This provides other great advantages like fluid chord transitions and inversions. But today, I'm actually going to invite you to take the next step to move your pinky over one string to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string for D. This creates a chord called a G5. Squeeze these 2 notes, the 6th string and the 2nd string, like this. Squeeze them together. You can probably see where this is going. Now, the chord created by our fretting hand is different from how this lesson started today with the E minor chord, but our picking hand won't know the difference because we're still squeezing on strings 6 and 2. Let's go. Together. Then move to inside with strings 4 and 3, then back to outside, then back to inside. Right? You good? Let's start out with 104 eighth notes per minute with this G5 chord. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. inside, outside, inside, together, inside, outside, inside, together, inside, outside, inside, together, inside, outside, inside, together. Now what I want you to do is think of your second string as your melody string for a moment. Just use your middle finger of your picking hand to play only the second string as we play these three notes from high to low and back up, like this. D, C, B, C, D, C, B, C, and D. Try that with me. D, C, B, C, D, C, B, C, and D. When we chord this, we'll switch from a G5 chord to a G sus4 chord to a G major chord, back to a G sus4 chord, and then ending on a G5 chord. Try each chord out of tempo with our pattern once, like this. Here's the G5. Together, inside, outside, inside. Then the G sus4. Together, inside, outside, inside. Then the G. Together, inside, outside, inside. Then G sus4 again. Together, inside, outside, inside. Then we can end on the G5. You know where I'm headed with this. Let me demonstrate it once for you at a faster tempo so you can see the goal we're reaching for. I won't use the metronome right now. Here I go. That's not too shabby, right? We do have three separate chords going on, but the good news is that the strings are the same. The better news is that this pattern, combined with these chords, is creating a melody woven into the progression, which is the next level beyond simple chording. To be able to play chords and melody at the same time is one of the great artistic advantages of fingerstyle guitar playing. Okay, so you've seen me do it. Why don't I fire up my metronome back at 104 eighth notes per minute. Let's play this 4-chord sequence with G5, G sus4, G, G sus4 with one cycle per chord, ramping up the tempo to see how fast we can go. Ready? Here's eighth note equals 104. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. We're going to go faster now. Here's 144. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Okay, we're going back to 104, but now these are quarter notes. Buckle up. Join me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go now. Together, inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. 120? Yeah, buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go now. Together, inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. $144. You got this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go now. Together, inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Inside, outside, inside, together. Okay, back to 104, but now these clicks of the metronome are half notes, which means our quarter note is 208. You might be like, whoa, Nelly. Or you might be like, this is just getting interesting. I'm not going to say the strings anymore here because I don't think I can talk that fast. Let's do this. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, here we go now. Let's go to half note equals 120 or quarter note equals 240. But once I've played this G sequence, I'm just going to go off. And I don't even know which chords I'm going to play at this point, but they'll all either have a 6th string low note or a 5th string low note. Let's see what happens. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, here we go now. Okay, so do you get the sense that we're on to a pretty valuable fingerstyle pattern here? I mean, I like the way it sounds, and a lot of folk artists from the past 75 years share my opinion. I'm telling you, if you add this to your toolkit, your artistic approach to guitar could really take off to some new levels. I've written and arranged songs with this pattern. You never know where it might surface, hopefully in your playing in the near future. So hey, dig into this Travis style picking pattern. Just know that in some ways, today's lesson is really just the beginning. What's going to happen when you want to add more fingerstyle patterns to your toolkit? I'll be here. Depending on the response to this video, I do have a 4-finger approach I like to use. But for now, maybe take a break from finger picking, grab your pick, and brush up on your strumming with our epically enjoyable and very well received strumming workout. I'm not kidding, it's our most popular video on the channel right now. I'll see you there.